Time with Shebrew royalty features remedies for inner healing and outer beauty. Real-time conversations with sisters in the Hebrew Israelite community, focused on healing our spirit, mind, and body, which will contribute to the healing of our nation as a whole. Sip a cup of tea, wear your favorite turban, tee, or tunic, and enjoy tea time with Shebrew royalty. Tea Time with Shebrew royalty features remedies for inner healing and outer beauty. Real-time conversations with sisters in the Hebrew Israelite community, focused on healing our spirit, mind, and body, which will contribute to the healing of our nation as a whole. Sip a cup of tea, wear your favorite turban, tee, or tunic, and enjoy tea time with Shebrew royalty. Shebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, temperance, faith, and meekness too. Shebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit. Shebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, temperance, faith, and meekness too. Shebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit.
Shalom, sisters. Shalom. Shalom. Come on in. Come on in. Who is here? Sister Carla. Shalom, sis. Shalom. Can't wait for another exciting and informative episode. All praises to the Most High, AHAYAH. That's what I'm saying, sis. Shalom, Sister Habkarad. You are here as well. Shalom. You said so. Shalom, sis. I'm so grateful to be here. I am so grateful that you all are here. I am so grateful that you all are here. Make sure you hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let others know that we are here. Send someone a text, give them a quick call. Let them know that we're going into some important information tonight. Let them know that. I am so excited about tonight's show because, as you both said, it is very, very informative tonight. It's a lot of information, right? Very important information that we need to know. So before getting started, let us do what we do every Sunday to kick off this show. We first have to give a huge shout out, a praise to the Almighty, AHAYAH, ASHAR, AHAYAH, I am that I am, the God of the Hebrews and the Shebrews. in the name of his Son, YASHAYA, whom the world calls Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, Rawach, Qadash. So let's give them a huge praise, a shout out, a tawada, a thank you for bringing us here another Sunday to have this stimulating conversation, to have tea, and just to hang out as sisters and learn together. I am so excited about this. Every Sunday, I just anticipate coming on here to connect with you all. So I am very excited. I am very grateful to be here tonight. The Most High brought us through a whole week, right? And we are here starting a new week. So all praises to the Most High. I'm your hostess, Kwala Yakaka, and I humbly thank you for joining me on this broadcast tonight. Thank you. Thawada. So welcome back. Happy Sunday. How was your week? Was your week productive? Was it restful? Was it busy? What kind of week did you have? Was it a combination of all of the above? For one thing, we do know that it was a blessed week, right? Because we are all here and the Most High brought us through no matter what the challenges may have been. And here we are, starting another week. And praise the Most High for that. And, I couldn't think of some better people to start my week with other than you. So thank you again. So before moving forward in this discussion, let us get these disclaimers out of the way, right? Let me start by saying tea time with Shebrew royalty is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. We understand that. We don't expect it to be. But if you happen upon this channel and you realize that you don't agree with our lifestyle, our beliefs, it's okay. It's okay to keep searching YouTube and, until you find your perfect tea and your perfect flavor, right? So you owe that to yourself. And I'm sure that if you continue to search, you will do just that. What I do ask is that you not leave any derogatory statements or comments in the comment box, because that would be distasteful. And so we really appreciate that, and we thank you in advance. Sister Carla says, busy with many Y's on the end. Yes. Yeah, but Khan, blessed. His grace is sufficient. It always is, sis. It always is. And so with the busyness, I know you were quite productive as well. So all praises to the Most High, right? The water to the Most High for even our busy weeks and even our challenges. So yes. Also, although I am a licensed physician assistant and certified functional nutrition informed professional, and I will be touching on topics of health and wellness in many of my broadcasts, we will not be utilizing this platform to diagnose or treat anyone's illnesses. If you are experiencing any medical problems whatsoever, please consult your healthcare practitioner. And the views that you will hear on this channel are the views of myself or my guest, and not those of any particular church or organization. Sister Johnny, welcome. So good to see you again. So good to see you. So good to have you here. All praises to the Most High. The water for being here. Right, so let's also talk about our health and wellness disclaimers, because these are really important, right? So the information that's provided on this channel is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. The content shared here, including videos, guides, and resources, reflect general wellness knowledge and personal experiences and should not be used as a substitute for professional medical diagnosis, treatment, or advice. Always seek the guidance of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition, diet, or wellness program. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have seen or heard on this channel. Some videos and materials may feature foods, herbal teas, nutritional supplements, and skin or hair care products offered through Shebrew Royalty LLC. These products are not evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Results may vary, and individuals with allergies, underlying health conditions, or who are pregnant or nursing should consult a qualified health professional before using any product or adopting any wellness recommendation shared on this platform or the Shebrew Royalty LLC website. By watching just this channel, you acknowledge you agree that you do so at your own risk. The creators, guests, and affiliates of this channel are not liable for any injury, loss, or damage allegedly arising from any information, suggestions, or practices shared here. Sister Johnny says, Shalom, Carla, good to see you too. Praise the Most High. Khan, same here. Awesome, sis. So good to have you. So good to have you here. So, quick reminder, visit ShebrewRoyalty.com. I'm just going to, let me see. Do I have the website in queue here? Do I have the website in queue? I do not. So what I am going to do is I am just going to put the link on the banner here. Give me just a second. Please visit our website, ShebrewRoyalty.com, to see all of the good stuff that we have. Excellent stuff. Let me just put it out there. This stuff is excellent. All organic products. I'm not going to go into the website tonight, but please visit ShebrewRoyalty.com. Visit the website, share the website. If you've purchased any of the products on the website, please, please, please be sure to do a review. Send me a review. Let's post it on the website so others can know about these products and what your experience have been with these products. ShebrewRoyalty.com. That is our official website. And like I said, normally, we visit the channel, but tonight, there's just so much stuff that we have to go through that I'm just going to get started and get this royal tea party started. First of all, we're starting off with, what is your cup of tea? What is your cup of tea tonight? Talk to me. Sister Carla, Sister Johnny, Sister Habkarad, what are you all sipping on tonight? Talk to me. I know you're sipping something, whether it be water, some form of tea, if maybe a drink, whatever it may be. I want to know. I'm kind of nosy like that. And I am also going to share with you what my cup of tea is tonight. Sister Carla said clove tea. You know what? I thought about clove tea earlier, sis. I did think about having some clove tea earlier. But earlier in the day, I had been sipping throughout the day on my femininity. That's not my featured tea tonight, but go to the website. I am telling you, sisters, that femininity is, it's absolutely delicious. I am not saying this because it's one of our blends here at Shebrew Royalty, but I drank so much of that tea yesterday and then today, and tonight, my featured tea tonight, Sister Johnny says she's having sparkling water, tropical fruit. Awesome, sis. That sounds very refreshing. Very, very refreshing. Tonight, my cup of tea is rose tea. Rose tea. Look at that. Look at. My goodness. The aroma. How many of you have ever had rose tea? So I am so accustomed to using rose petals in my tea blends. Some of my tea blends, I have the rose petals in there. And also in my body soaks and, the body scrubs, but usually not as a standalone tea. Sister Carla, you must get the femininity. You must. And just as the name implies, it is so smooth. It's so smooth. And I'm telling you, when you're drinking this tea, all you can think about is, wow, this tea is really very feminine. It's very smooth. It's very delicate. It even without the honey. I usually put a little bit of honey in there, but sometimes I just decide I don't want any sweetener in it. I just want to enjoy it in its natural state. But it is so delicate and smooth and feminine. And appropriately named femininity. All right. So yes, I'm enjoying this rose petal tea also. It's also mild. It has a smooth flavor. And of course, it's aromatic because it's roses. It's rose petals, right? And for enhanced flavor, and also, as you can see, it's really a bright, dark pink because I did add a teaspoon of organic rose petal powder. Yum. It took that tea to a whole other level. So let's watch this video. This video by Tea Pro. And this video is called I Tried Rose Tea for 3 months and Learned Something Incredible. And once again, this video is by Tea Pro. And this is I tried rose tea for 3 months and learned something incredible. Let's get this on the screen for you.
Hey Tea Pros, let me introduce you to rose tea, one of my personal favorites, both for its delicate flavor and its amazing health benefits. Made from unopened rose buds, this naturally caffeine-free tisane boasts a sweet floral aroma and a smooth, silky taste. In herbal medicine, rose tea has been used for centuries to help you relieve stress, improve digestion, give your skin this beautiful healthy glow, and much more. But how much of this is really true? In this video, you'll find out whether there's any research to back these health claims. And I will also tell you about my personal experience. What have I noticed after drinking rose tea for the last 3 months? But first, make sure to give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel so I get encouraged to create more health-focused tea videos for you. Have you tried rosebud tea before? Where in the world are you from? And what other teas and their health myths would you like me to uncover? After you're done watching this video, make sure to leave me a comment below so we can get to know each other better.
Did you know that in ancient Persia, rose tea was a special treat reserved for royalty? They'd serve it at grand banquets to wow their guests with its beautiful appearance and captivating fragrance. Nowadays, the aromatic oils from rose buds are also a key ingredient in many luxury perfumes, such as Chanel No. 5 or J'adore by Dior. It's no surprise, as rose tea scent is also often used in aromatherapy due to its relaxing properties. Several studies, including one from 2009, found that inhaling rose oil had calming effects on participants, reducing stress and anxiety levels. Another study from 2023 concluded that 2 cups of rose tea per day resulted in lower perceived levels of anxiety and improved psychological well-being. In traditional Chinese medicine, this floral tea has been used to help alleviate cramps and ease the aches that come with menstruation. Some compounds in rosebud tea are believed to have pain-relieving and anti-inflammatory properties. A 2005 study showed that this soothing tea can offer potential relief during your cycle and promote overall well-being before and during your period. Rosebud tea can also offer gentle relief for your digestive health. Traditionally used to ease symptoms like indigestion, bloating, and constipation, this tea may help your digestive system running smoothly. Another study on rose tea suggests that its natural compounds are believed to have mild laxative and diuretic effects, promoting a happier tummy. Interestingly, a 2018 study showed that rose tea can be used to strengthen the heart. The compounds in this tea support a healthy cardiovascular system by lowering blood pressure, reducing cholesterol levels, and boosting blood circulation, giving you yet another reason to sip rosebud tea. Packed with antioxidants and vitamin C, a study from 2018 showed that antioxidants can help defend your skin against aging and boost collagen for a firm, wrinkle-free complexion. Plus, its anti-inflammatory properties can calm irritated skin, leaving you with a radiant glow.
So what have I noticed after drinking rose tea for 3 months? The most noticeable benefit I can attest to is that it has really helped me with my period cramps. Usually I get really severe period pain to the point where I have to take painkillers. But after I started drinking rose tea, my period pain has become almost non-existent. Honestly, I'm still pretty blown away by it. I can also attest to the calming benefits of rose tea, especially when I drink it in the evenings. It helps me de-stress, I feel much more relaxed and happy, and it helps me sleep better. Lastly, I'd like to say that my skin has become more radiant and firm. However, I also need to say that I've been drinking a lot of bamboo leaf tea, which is known for its rejuvenating effect. So I can't tell whether the effects are due to rose tea or bamboo leaf tea or both.
So how do you brew rose tea? The most common mistake I see is that people don't use enough rosebuds. To get maximum flavor and benefits, you really need to use at least a spoonful. Then steep it for about 5 minutes.
Now I want to hear from you. Were you aware of all the health benefits of rose tea, or did you find some of them surprising? Leave me a comment below. Also, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more health-focused tea content so you can also become a tea pro. Happy sipping.
What did y'all think about that the rose tea benefits? How many of you drink rose tea? Quick question. How many of you drink the rose tea or have tried it? What do you think about it? If you haven't tried it already, are you willing to try it based on the benefits that she just talked about? But I am telling it's really a nice, smooth tea. I love it in my tea blends. I really do love it in my tea blends. But even as a standalone tea with all of the health benefits that it has, why not? Sister Carla says, I will now. See how much stuff we learn on here? We learn a lot, right? Sister Johnny said, I never had it. I'm willing to try it. And you know, what's so funny is that I add these rose petals to so many of my tea blends, but I don't recall ever trying this tea by itself, just as standalone until today. And I thought, why not just have rose tea? And I'm glad that I did. It's so simple. It's so simple. Just a teaspoon and a half. And like I said, I also used the rose petal powder, organic, and that really just elevated it, I think, to another level. So enjoy your rose tea. I brew rosebuds as part of my hair and skin regimen. Sis, now you can drink it as you are spraying your hair and face. Make a batch, a big enough batch so you can have some to drink and also spray on your hair and your skin. Perfect, perfect. Because I love rose water to spray on my face, my hair. I do. I love that. But like I said, it's just so simple. And I never thought, oh, why don't you just make some tea? It's like even with rosemary, the sprigs, I love it. It also for my hair, and I make the rosemary and cloves spray. And I thought one time when I did it, it smelled so good. And I thought, why not drink it? This stuff is good. And I love that blend of rosemary, fresh rosemary, and cloves. Try that, Sister Carla, if you haven't already done so. So once again, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're about to get started. And, help me out with the social media. We're still dealing with that. Help me out with the social media, sisters. Please, if you have a social media platform, please share the links to the videos, to the website. Also, word of mouth, family, friends, co-workers. Let them know what we are doing here. And like I said, introduce them to the website as well, because I am telling you, these products are really phenomenal. So let's get the word out about what we are doing here on Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty, and also what we're doing online with our website. So last week's show was What's in Your Water? What's in your water? During that show, we reviewed what contaminants are most common in the U.S. water systems, the subtle yet serious side effects on women's health and hormones, how to test and filter your water effectively, and simple natural ways to restore balance and purity to your body and your home. So what did you learn? What did you learn? What was your takeaway? Did any of you watch the show either live or on playback? What was your biggest takeaway from that show? Because like I said, we focused primarily on all of these chemicals that are used to treat the water. Although we did touch a little bit on the viruses, the bacteria, the other organisms that contaminate our water, which leads us to now having these chemicals being added to the water to eradicate these organisms. But even in doing so, now we're dealing with the problem with those chemicals. So we talked about some of the different filters that we can use. And like I said, I'm seriously considering getting the reverse osmosis system. I definitely have to really put that into action and get that reverse osmosis system. And once I do that, then I will come back and do a follow-up show and let you all know what I think about it. And if any of you have any filters that you would recommend, please drop that information in the comment box. Let us know what you are using, and how do you find it? Is it pretty effective? Have you noticed any changes in your skin condition, your hair condition, the taste? Are you using that filter in your kitchen to filter that water and use as drinking and cooking water? Because I don't use my my faucet for cooking or for drinking. I have bottled water delivered, but even that in itself, we can't. Everything. There's nothing out there that's 100% safe, right? So right now, that is what I'm doing, and I've been doing that for quite a few years. But yeah, drop me any information that you have that may help others based on what you are doing to make your water safer. That being said, and without further ado, it's showtime, right? And it's not at the Apollo, but right here on Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty. For those of you that may just be tuning in or joining us for the very first time, shalom, welcome back to Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty, where ancient wisdom flows into modern wellness. I'm your hostess, Kwala Yakaka, and in today's episode, we're going to explore the world of recalls, specifically food recalls and skincare and cosmetic product recalls. Why? Because these are some of the things that we really talk about here on Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty. These are things that make up a bulk of our shows, right? We talk a lot about foods and teas and skincare stuff. So we really want to know the other side of it. We use them for beauty. We use them, of course, to nourish our bodies as far as the food. We use cosmetics. So we really want to know if there's something out there that we shouldn't be using, right? So if there are recalls, what causes these recalls? How do they happen? And what you as a consumer can do when one of these recalls affect a product that you use. So let's begin by setting the stage. So why do recalls happen? What are the key drivers that cause recalls, right? So recalls are often cast in a negative light, a sign that something went wrong. But in many cases, a recall is evidence that safety systems, monitoring, or testing have caught a problem before widespread harm occurs. Still, understanding the root cause helps us to see patterns and reduce risk. So here are some of the major drivers behind recalls. So first is microbial contamination, foods and topical byproducts or topical products, especially those with water or botanical ingredients, can harbor bacteria, molds, or pathogens such as listeria, salmonella, or opportunistic pathogens. So if a contaminant is detected after distribution, a recall might follow. So number one, microbial contamination. Number two, foreign material or extraneous objects, such as metal shards, plastic, wood splinters, or other fragments that accidentally are introduced during processing, are frequent triggers for recalls, especially in food. Then there's also mislabeling, undeclared allergens, ingredient errors. So when a product contains an allergen not listed on the label, or a label misstates contents such as sugar content in a drink, that's dangerous. That's a common reason for recalls. Number four, chemical contamination, or adulteration. In skincare, for example, a known carcinogen like benzene may be found in trace amounts, prompting a recall, or a product might accidentally include an ingredient at too high a concentration. So that will also trigger a recall. Number 5, stability or formulation failures. Over time, a product may degrade or separate, leading to unsafe conditions or loss of efficacy, potentially triggering a withdrawal or recall. And number 6, adverse events report or cluster illness investigation. Sometimes a recall is reactive. And this happened when health agencies or manufacturers notice a cluster of illnesses or adverse reactions. They investigate, trace it to a product, and issue a recall. So I know we see a lot of this in the news, that there's an outbreak of this or there's an outbreak of that. And then you hear, okay, if you've purchased product X, Y, and Z from this place, then you'll want to check the product label, the code that's on there, and either return it. But those are things that we are going to delve into further. Last impression page. Shalom says, oh my gosh, you are back. It's so good to see you, sis. Shalom. I love and miss you too. Shalom, sis. So good to see you. Wow. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. So it's also worth noting that the visibility and frequency of recall have gone up due to better regulatory oversight, better traceability systems, and more public demand for transparency. And I am going to be dropping quite a few of these articles, the links to them, so you can read them on your own, because like I said, there's quite a few. And I am just going to pop this one in the comment box right now. This one is by Good Housekeeping, and it says recalls are on the rise, but is food really less safe these days? So let me get this link for you. Give me just a second here. The water, who is, that's G. Who is G? Please, who is G? Let me know who you are. I'm dropping this link in here. Shalom all as usual. This is such an informative video. The water, G. The water, all praises to the Most High. So this article is from Good Housekeeping. And it says, lately it seems like there's a new food recall issued every few weeks. And the uptick isn't your imagination. Between 2020 and 2024, the total number of food recalls increased by 15%. In fact, while we were reporting the story, the outbreak of salmonella in cucumbers across multiple states picked up momentum. Before that, it was Trader Joe's sesame miso salmon salad, celery sticks, tomatoes, Stouffer's frozen meals. Possible contaminant was wood, and a lot more. Is this increase in food recalls because the food safety and production system is getting worse? Or has traceability improved? Perhaps it's just that we're exposed to more information across various platforms and devices, therefore noticing recalls in new ways. It says I wouldn't say that the overall safety of the US food system has changed, says Abby Snyder, Associate Professor of Microbial Food Safety at Cornell University. Recalls happen periodically, largely due to unintended food safety failures, and sometimes that means several recalls will happen in short succession. The ability of the food industry and FDA to recognize when a recall should be initiated and to carry recalls out effectively is a key component of what helps keep our food system safe. Says the reason recalls might seem to be more frequent is due to technology improvements and access, says food safety scientist Gail Prince, founder of Sage Food Safety, who's been working on food recalls in the US since 1968. When you break out the reason for a recall, that data has not changed much in 15 years, he says. The most frequent reason each year will vary between microbiological or allergen, Listeria monocytogenes, and Salmonella are the most frequent causes for recalls. And then it says, here's more about why food recalls occur, what various recall classes mean, and how to stay on top of the latest recalls. So what is food traceability and why does it matter? Manufacturers and agencies are able to follow a product through its entire life cycle from where it was grown to the places it winds up for sale, thanks to the UPC label and lot numbers on each product. This ability to trace each product helps identify problems with food safety very quickly. Government agencies like the FDA do a lot of work to identify when an outbreak is occurring, and they help ensure that contaminated products is out of the market through recalls when necessary, says Snyder, who notes that advances in technology have helped food groups get better and faster at detecting outbreaks. Outbreaks are commonly recognized when a government public health agency notices a cluster of cases. A cluster is a group of people who were made sick by the same pathogen, and even two people getting sick could qualify as an outbreak. Epidemiologists can recognize these clusters through disease surveillance that includes sequencing the genome of the pathogen, like Listeria, and then tracking when a bunch of closely related Listeria starts making people sick. Once epidemiologists recognize a cluster of cases, they can start an investigation. Snyder says, for example, if the investigators interview all of the people who got sick within this cluster, they will try to determine if many of them happen to eat the same thing. That evidence directs them to the next step of their investigation, where they may go to the producer of the food that was commonly consumed among the sick people and collect samples for testing to see if they can also find the same foodborne pathogen in the food or in the environment where the food was produced. Even though the system is getting better and faster, it can still take time to identify every product where the offending food might have wound up. When you have an ingredient as in a product that is the causative agent, and the ingredient is used by multiple companies, then that causes a lot of confusion as you're trying to pinpoint why different products are creating the same issue, says Prince. For example, if lettuce from a specific lot were used by a vending machine company to included in pre-made sandwiches, and by a school for children's lunches, and in a hospital cafeteria, it might be tough to nail down which food was causing the illness. Strong traceability is essential to effective recall, Snyder says. If you can't identify the products that are potentially contaminated, you can't warn retailers and consumers not to eat them. The majority of the food recalls are triggered by food manufacturers when their quality control procedures detect a problem after the production process and the product is in the marketplace, Prince says. So what to do after a recall? It's smart to do an inventory of your refrigerator. And these are some of the things I'm actually not going to go into this part because there's more information that is going to come out, and we will talk about what to do after a recall. We will talk about how to stay informed about food recalls. Okay, so download that link, keep it so that you can go back and complete your reading, add it to your collection, because this is really, really important information. So that's as far as I'm going to go in that article, because like I said, there are so many other articles that that we're going to go into. So let's see what I've been missing. So G says, sis, you are truly gifted. Oh, Thawada says, by the Most High, all praises to the Most High, as you do such incredible research to bring us the info. This is Sis Simone. Oh, Shalom says, I'm finally able to be a part of your live for the first time. Welcome, sis. It's so good to have you. So good to have you on here. All praises to the Most High. Sister Phyllis says, Shalom, Sister Kuala, and to you, beautiful sisters. Shalom, sis. Last impression, Sis Kuala, I'm going to have to go. I just wanted to say hi, and I'll watch this later. I'm in Vegas with my sister, enjoying her because I'm leaving to go home tonight. Okay, sis. I came down with Sister Sharon. Shalom, sis, and give Sister Sharon my love as well. And thank you for stopping by. And yes, check us out later on. All praises to the Most High. Thank you again for visiting. So sisters, yes, let's move on. So let's talk about some recent examples in food recalls. Let's look at some recent real world cases that we will use to ground this in reality. So in October 2025, just this month, Foster Poultry Farms recalled more than 3.8 million pounds of chicken corn dogs products because of wood fragments that was found in the batter. Some consumers reported injuries, and that was reported by AP News. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to drop all of these links. I'm going to drop these links in the comment box here. I'm not going to read all of these comments. I'm just all of these articles. I'm just going to give you an overview of what's in these articles. And like I said, I'm going to drop these links in the comment box so you can, review them in your own time. But I just want to be able to highlight all of these darn recalls that we are seeing lately. And they're saying that there's not an uptick in the recalls. but it's just that these things are they have better and more efficient ways right now to get this information out to us, and we really, really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. So now that, because sometimes there are these recalls and we're not seeing them so much on the news, at least for myself, because I really do not watch the news. My TV is never on the news. I don't even have access to a lot of these TV channels, right? So even if they are announcing them on these news channels, I'm not getting them. So we'll talk about other ways that we can be notified about these recalls, right? So like I said, in October 2025, Foster Poultry Farms recalled more than 3.8 million pounds of chicken corn dog products because of wood fragments that were found in the batter. And some consumers actually reported injuries. Also, here's another article that I'm going to drop in the comment box. Snowpack Foods issued a nationwide recall of its frozen spinach due to potential listeria contamination. And this was reported by the San Francisco Chronicle. And let me get you this article. The frozen spinach. Let me find that one. Yes, frozen spinach. Here we go. And that company is Snowpack Foods. And this is a nationwide recall of its frozen spinach due to potential listeria contamination. So I don't know if any of you, I'm not familiar with Snowpack Foods. I'm not familiar with them. But even if you're not, you may want to pass this information on to family and friends, because there may be someone out there that you know that purchased the frozen spinach or the chicken corn dogs, right? So please share this information. Next up, a California company, Nate's Fine Foods, recalled over 245,000 pounds 245,000 pounds of prepared pasta meals after linking listeria, here's this listeria again, in the products to illnesses and deaths. So this Nate's Fine Food recalled 245,000 pounds of prepared pasta meals after linking listeria in the products to illnesses and deaths. And this was reported by people.com. Here's another link that I'm dropping in the comment box for you all. I'm flooding you with a lot of information tonight, sisters. Flooding you with a lot of information, but it's so important. And like I said, these articles can be very lengthy, and so I'm not going to read all of these articles tonight. I read the first one, but yeah, I'm not going to dig deep into all of the information, and that's why I'm dropping all of this in the comment box so you can read it in your own time. You can also share these links with family and friends. So in the beverage space, PepsiCo recalled nearly 70,000 70,000 bottles of its Lipton green tea line. And this is by PepsiCo. Nearly 70,000 bottles of its Lipton green tea line because they were mislabeled as diet green tea mixed berry, 0 sugar, even though they contained 25 grams of sugar. An especially serious issue for people with diabetes, right? Because when people are buying these diet drinks that says 0 sugars, usually it's someone that's either trying to lose weight or someone with diabetes. And if this is mislabeled and it has 25 grams of sugar, that can be detrimental for people with diabetes. So I'm going to also drop that. And this is by Health. Health is the one that reported this. And it says here in Texas, the state's health department has documented a range of food recalls, including undeclared allergens, listeria concerns, and foreign matter in various products. So I am actually going to pull up this article on this is the Texas Health and Human Services website. I'm going to drop this link in here. And because many of us are here in Texas, I am going to go over a couple of these. Give me just a minute. I'm going to take a short break and I will be right back. Give me just a minute. I will be right back and we will go over the food alerts and recalls that are affecting Texas. All right. Give me just
Shebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, temperance, faith, and meekness too. Shebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, temperance, faith, and meekness too. Shebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit. Shebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, temperance, faith, and
All right, sisters, we are back. We are back. Thank you for your patience there. So, yeah, let's talk about these food alerts and recalls that are affecting Texas. So, do you have, sisters, do you have your, let's see, do you have that link opened up? It's the Texas Health and Human Services website. And look at what we've got going on here. Food manufacturers, wholesalers, and warehouses. And October 8, 2025, that's here at the top of the page. And look at the list. Outbreak, investigation of listeria, monocytogenes in the prepared pasta meals. We talked about that. More ground cinnamon products added to the FDA public health alert due to the presence of elevated levels of lead, according to the FDA. Let's see, what's the next one here? FSIS issues public health alert for ready-to-eat meals containing riced cauliflower that may be contaminated with listeria. Here's this listeria again. And this is by Food Safety and Inspection Services. Snowpack food recalls. That's the one that we just talked about the frozen spinach. And also 10-ounce organic frozen cut spinach, according to the FDA. Kroger voluntarily recalls 2 varieties of deli pasta salads because of possible health risk. And that was reported by the FDA. Twin Marquise LLC voluntarily recalls Twin Marquise thick Shanghai style plain noodles. Packaged due to undeclared eggs. So there's eggs in there and it wasn't, I guess, labeled. And then there's an update. Albertsons companies voluntarily recalled select store-made deli items containing bowtie pasta supplied by Fresh Creative Foods due to an ingredient recall for possible listeria. Contamination again. And Deemer's Food Groups voluntarily recalled select Scott and John's shrimp scampi with linguine bowls due to an ingredient recall initiated by Nate's Fine Foods for possible listeria contamination. And those were all reported in one day. Those were all reported, let's see here. Oh boy, let's see, I'm trying to get my mouse to act right here. October 8th. And then we go to October 3rd. There's a whole other list there. The Hillshire Brands Company is recalling corn dogs and sausage on a stick products due to possible foreign matter contamination. Doan's Bakery is recalling white chocolate, coconut, and carrot bundt cakes due to undeclared allergens. Albertsons Company is recalling several store-made deli items due to possible listeria. I think we talked about that earlier. And True Frou LLC is recalling a specific variety of True Frou freeze-dried products due to possible foreign matter contamination. And this list goes on, as we can see. This is a long list for Texas. September 26, 2025, there's a long list there, September 12th. So this goes all the way back to January. Okay, so from January until now, there's been quite a few recalls according to this Texas Health and Human Services. So sisters, take some time to go through this list, especially for the recalls from October, maybe September and October. And although you may not be in Texas, because this list is so extensive, I would recommend that even though you're not in Texas, that you go over this list, right? Because it doesn't mean that only Texas is affected. Wherever these people sell, these manufacturers, wholesalers, wherever they're distributing their products, then there's a possible risk there. So sisters, really take some time to go over this recall list. Sister Simone says, the Shebrew royalty song that was played on your break was beautiful and super fitting for this program. All praises to the Most High, sis. The water. Sister Ada says, thank you for your hard work and dedication. The water, sis. All praises to the Most High. You know, I really enjoy doing this. I really, really, really enjoy doing this. This is not even work for me. I take so much pleasure in doing this. So thank you all for participating and being a part of this with me, because without you all, I would be sitting here babbling to myself. I would be sitting here just reading this stuff, babbling to myself, and we don't want that, right? So I thank you all for joining me for tea, joining me for conversation, us learning and growing together. I really love this. So the water, it is so mutual. So let's talk about skincare and cosmetic recalls, because we've dealt a lot into the foods. As you can see, there's a long list. So it's not just food. Skincare and hygiene products face recalls too. So here are some notable examples of some skincare products. Dermarite Industries, which is a New Jersey company, issued a voluntary nationwide recall of multiple products such as DermaClean, Dermasara, Clean Foam, and Perigene due to contamination with Burkholderia cepacia complex. Never heard of that. A bacteria that can cause serious infections, especially in immune-compromised people. And this came from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. And once again, I am going to drop this link so you can learn more about the Dermarite Industries and their recalls. So there you go. Sister Simone says it's important that we support one another's businesses, especially now more than ever. I agree, sis. I totally agree that we really have to support each other and our businesses, and we have to look out for each other, right? We really have to look out for each other. And this is just one way that I find that I can look out for not just myself, not just my family, my biological family, but my family in Christ as well. And so I thank the Most High for giving me the inspiration to have this channel, to be able to do this. Because coming out of healthcare, where as you all, most of you all know my story about walking away, leaving healthcare, but still having that desire that was placed in me to help others. And so this platform allows me to do that in a different way than how I was doing it before, because as we well know, the way that I was doing it before, it came with a lot of risks. It came with a lot of how do I say this without causing issues out there. But a lot of the things that I thought that I was doing to help others, once I woke up to this truth and woke up to a lot of the things that we are now being made aware of, right? Let me just put it this way. 2020 was a huge eye opener for me. And so I had to make some really it wasn't a hard decision, but of course it came with making some adjustments, and being able to step away from that and to do something like this is so important to me, because I still have that desire to be helpful, to be here for those that need advice, especially when it comes to health and wellness. And so I say all that to say, praise the Most High for this platform and for Him utilizing me in this way. It really does mean a lot to me to be here in this capacity. And I just thank Him for that. That being said, this same recall by Dermarite Industries later expanded to include many soaps, lotions, hand sanitizers, and creams. Imagine that, right? And so this new article that I'm going to put in here is by Newsweek. Let me get this Newsweek article, and this goes more in depth about the expansion, which includes the soaps, the lotions, the hand sanitizers, and creams that were recalled. Let's see here. I think this is the one about the benzene contamination. Give me just a second. I think I missed this one. Give me a minute. Product recalls. This one is segment 3. Give me just a second, sisters. I'm trying to get this link. I didn't have it in the queue, so now I have to go back and find it. One second. because this is important. I want to make sure that you all get all of these links. Here we go. All right, let me drop this in here. All right, there it is. So that's the Newsweek article about the soaps, the lotions, hand sanitizers, and creams. And then here's another one. In early 2025, the FDA flagged a group of benzoyl peroxide-based acne products after testing showed elevated levels of benzene, which is a known carcinogen. So 6 products were voluntarily recalled from retail shelves. So it's funny how this is worded, right? It says the testing showed, first of all, they were flagged after testing showed elevated levels of benzene, which is a known human carcinogen. So is any level at all safe? If it's a known carcinogen, does it have to be a high level for it to be recalled? Or should it even be in the product at all? So 6 products were voluntarily recalled from the retail shelves. And this is what I'm saying. So many of these products that we are using have carcinogens in them. They have all of these harmful, toxic chemicals in them. And as long as they are not above a certain level, then we're told that they're safe. But if it's a known carcinogen, how safe can that be? Right? So let me get this article to you. I'm flooding you all with a lot of information tonight, sisters. But like I said, even if this does not apply to you, it may apply to someone that you know. If you know that there's someone in your family that's using benzoyl peroxide products for acne, you may want to just share this article with them just in case they're utilizing any of these products, because there are 6 products. But it says they were voluntarily recalled, but were they bought before they were recalled? Your family member or your friend may have this product and did not even realize that it was recalled. Okay? So there's another recall here. It's products included in the La Roche-Posay Effaclar duo, such as the Proactive Skin Smoothing Exfoliator, Walgreens Acne Control Cleanser, etc., were recalled also. So here's another one from the Yale School of Medicine. More skincare products that were recalled. See, where is that? This one, let's see, this service is not responding to Azure front door. Let me see. This one, yes, the link, I was having an issue with the link. For whatever reason, that link is no longer working. I thought that was, let's see, this 2,000 jars of moisturizer. Let me see if this is the one. So this link is from Allure, and it says First Aid Beauty. This is another company. Yes, this is the one that I'm going into right now. First Aid Beauty. Let me drop this link in here. So this was a smaller recall, and this is by First Aid Beauty, and they recalled about 2,756 jars of their Ultra Repair Cream. And this was the coconut vanilla scent, because a batch intended to be quarantined was inadvertently shipped. So they state that this one was more precautionary. It was approximately 2,756 jars of their Ultra Repair Cream coconut vanilla scent by First Aid Beauty that was recalled. So that's the information that I just put on there. In the comment box. So you sisters, you have quite a few, and I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I still have more recalls. So these recalls underscore a few points, right? Skincare products are not immune to microbial risk, especially if they contain water or botanical extracts. Even low-risk products such as lotions and cleansers can have chemicals or contamination issues. Because skin is a barrier organ, some contaminants pose more risk if they penetrate or compromise the barrier. So a lot of times we're not thinking about the fact that although it is a skincare product, we're not ingesting it, by mouth. But remember, our skin is the largest organ on the body. So it's important that we are very, very careful what we're putting on our bodies. Check for all of these chemicals and stuff like that. Check if it's something that you can't pronounce, you can't even spell, then you want to look it up. What is this thing? And what does it do? What's the purpose of it being in here? And what are the risks associated with it? So let's walk through how a recall typically plays out from detection to consumer action. What happens when there's a recall? So number one, it starts off as detection or a trigger. So a manufacturer's internal quality control or environmental testing flags a violation, or there's complaints or adverse events. We touched on this a little bit earlier, but we're going to go over this again. Complaints or adverse events from consumers or health system raises a red flag, or a regulatory inspection or surprise audit reveals non-compliance. So that's one of three ways that detection occurs. Then step number two is investigation and trace back. So the company and regulatory agencies identify the source, which batches, lots, or components are affected. Then they trace distribution channels, such as the retailers, the wholesalers, or the regions. Then there's a public notice and recall classification. So once the investigation and trace back is done, then the recall or public notice is sent out. So a recall is announced often by way of the FDA, the USDA, or equivalent agency, or the recalls are classified in the US as Class 1, Class 2, or Class 3, depending on the severity of the health risk. And Class 1 equals the highest risk. So once the recall is put out there, It is now categorized as a class 1, class 2, or class 3. Retailers are instructed to pull affected lots from the shelves. Consumers may or may not be asked to discard or return the item, depending on the classification that the product is under. So what is the consumer's action now, or the remedy? The consumers need to check lot numbers. Once it's been put out there by the FDA or the USDA or whatever agency, the consumer now checks the lot numbers, because normally the identification will be through the lot numbers, the production dates, or the UPC. So you'll check that against the recall notices. So if you receive a recall, information on a recall of a product, what you're going to do is check the lot number, check the production dates, or the UPCs against the recall notices. You may be asked to return, discard, or receive a refund or replacement for the item. Sometimes for higher risk products, even consumers who have already used them may be asked to seek medical advice, right? So if, let's say, something is contaminated with listeria, salmonella, and even though you've consumed some of the product and you may think, oh, I'm feeling okay, still seek medical advice. So how do we follow up, monitor, or prevent these things? So the manufacturer implements corrective actions such as process changes, suppliers audits. The manufacturer is now required, once this happens, to make some changes, audit their suppliers, and then the regulatory agencies may inspect reformed processes, go back and inspect to make sure that now they are operating the way that they should have been operating to prevent a similar incident. They're going to monitor the consumer reports or conduct follow-up testing, which is so necessary. So one thing to emphasize is that time is critical. The faster a recall is detected and communicated, the fewer people are exposed and harmed, or, depending on the severity, or die. So here's a checklist of what we as consumers can do. We as consumers can now, number one, stay informed, right? Sign up for alerts. These are some things that you want to do, because I get alerts in my email, but what if you're not checking your email on a regular basis and something just slips by you? Sign up for alerts from the FDA, the USDA, or your country's equivalent. Use apps or website that aggregate recalls. For example, in the US, here in the US, the FDA posts recalls, market withdrawals, and safety alerts. And as a matter of fact, I downloaded USA Recalls. This is an app. It's called USA Recalls. And what this app does, it searches recalls. So it says here, it easily search, browse, and save recalls for food products, consumer goods, drugs, medical devices, and more to stay informed about potential safety concerns. And it says here you can scan products on the go. Scan the barcode of any product and instantly discover whether it or any other products by the same manufacturer have been recalled before. So even going through your cabinets and utilizing this app to scan products that you already have that may have been recalled, but you don't know, just to be on the safe side. And then you also get real-time updates. Get real-time updates for any new product recall with instant push notifications and emails. So once again, this app is called USA Recalls. Download this and get started. USA Recalls, right? Another thing that we can do as consumers is check lot numbers and expiration codes. So a recall often affects specific lots, not the entire brand. After a recall announcement, check your product packaging carefully. And like I said, now that you're going to download this app, this makes it so much easier for you to check these recalls, check the products that you have, or now when you go to the store, before purchasing a product, scan it with that app. Act when informed. If you own a product that is recalled, follow the recall instructions. Return it, discard it, or contact the manufacturer. Don't assume it's okay just because you haven't had any problems. You want to get rid of it. Return it, discard it, or contact the manufacturer. And also practice safe storage rotation. And I know this is hard, especially for those of us that are stocking up on certain things, right? It says here, don't stockpile massive quantities of perishable goods. Use first in, first out. So even if you are, make sure that you're rotating your products in a timely manner. When you buy it, that should be at the front. So first in should be the first out of your cabinets to reduce holding large amounts of products that might later be recalled. All right. Favor trustworthy brands with good quality control. While no brand is immune, some invest more in safety systems, traceability, and testing. So please, if there's a specific brand that you really like, do some research on that brand about their quality control and how their safety systems work and how they're able to trace to make sure that the products are good for consumption or good for use. So if there's a specific brand, like I said, that you really, really like, do a lot of research on them to make sure that their products, that you're not just liking them because you like the product. Make sure that this is a good company with good safety system. It says here, be cautious with imports, small brands or DIY products, right? Especially for cosmetics and skincare, small or niche brands may not have the same oversight or regulatory scrutiny. And we know that a lot of us do DIYs. I myself do DIYs and sell my products. But once again, utilizing strict cleanliness, making sure that counters are clean, wiped down, using disinfectants, gloves, and so on is really, really important when you're making DIY products, especially for others' usage, whether it's consumption, ingesting it through eating or drinking it, or even making products, skincare products. It's really important that you use strict hygiene practices. And also report adverse events. If you experience illness or side effects, report to your local health authority or consumer safety agency. It might help trigger recall investigations. And sometimes we just think, oh, well, you know, I'll get over this or I'll get sick. But if you notice that you ate at a certain place or family members, you all ate at a certain place and you are all getting sick, especially a stomach virus or something like that, do some investigation. Go see a doctor. Get your stool tested or whatever it may be, to make sure that it's not some form of bacterial infection. So let's step back and look at the bigger picture. The challenges the system faces and what is emerging. So here's some of the challenges. Speed versus thoroughness. Regulatory bodies must balance acting quickly with ensuring accuracy, so recalls aren't overbroad or misleading. Traceability and supply chain complexities. These are some of the challenges, right? Modern supply chains are global and complex. Ingredients might cross multiple borders and facilities. Tracking down the root source is harder than it sounds. Imagine thousands and thousands or millions of products being manufactured and shipped out, and then it ends up at your table, and now trying to figure out where the source is of the contamination when it went through so many different channels. That's complex. So it's so good that we do have these checks and balances in place. We're grateful for it. So let's step back. We've gone over that. We've gone over the speed versus thoroughness, traceability, and supply chain complexities. So what about public perception and brand trust? Recalls can damage brands' reputation. Some companies are slow to disclose, which can erode the trust. Transparency is becoming more valued, right? So it's important, that if there's a company that is having these issues, that they are very transparent and that they put that information out as soon as possible so people will know. Better detection technologies. Advances in testing sensitivity, genomics for pathogens, and process sensors are helping catch problems earlier. So these are some of the trends that we're seeing. The advances in testing sensitivity, genomics, which is for pathogens, and process sensors are helping to catch these problems earlier. And then regulatory harmonization. Different countries have different recall thresholds, rules, and communication systems. So for global brands, coordinating recalls across jurisdictions is challenging because now they have to focus on, if they're manufacturing or sending products to Europe, different places in the world, to China or what have you, or vice versa. When they're going globally, coordinating recalls can be very challenging. So digital communication and social media. Recalls now propagate via social media, apps, like we just talked about, the apps, news outlets. So there's both opportunity and risk, right? Some of the risks are false alarms or panic. And then how about consumer fatigue and desensitization? So with frequent recall news, some people may just tune it out. Ensuring recall messages reach those most vulnerable is key. So do not get burnout. Do not get desensitized based on the amount of recalls, but because the minute we get complacent, the minute we say, oh my gosh, it's just too many recalls to keep up with, that can be the one recall that you really needed to pay attention to. So that's why I'm saying get in this app. It's going to pop up on your phone and just let you know if there's a recall. You can just glance at it, and instead of having to go look for it through emails and what have you. So my question for you, sisters, I know we had a show a few months ago, and I talked about the Yuka app, YUKA. How many of you have been using that Yuka app? I use it every time I go to the store. Every time I scan practically everything since I've gotten this app. It is so valuable. So many of the foods that I was eating that said, that seemed clean, that seemed okay. Sister Ada says, I do now. Yes. Sister Carla says, desensitization is so real with so much going on in the earth. Yes, we must stay vigilant. Absolutely, sis. Absolutely. And yes, I use this Yuka app. I scan just about everything. And like I said, there are, cosmetics that I was using that I thought was okay. And I had stopped using a lot of cosmetics anyway, but every now and then I wanted to wear like a, face powder or, my eyeliner and so on and so forth, my lip gloss, only to find out when I started scanning these things, oh my gosh, it says this, it's supposed to be clean and what have you, but then you scan it and you realize that there are some harmful ingredients in there. And the same thing with food. Since I've been using this app, this Yuka app, there are just so much food that I used to eat, so many things that I used to eat that I now don't eat. I mean, it's like there's barely anything that I can stand in the store anymore. And it's the same thing with the cosmetics. So I say all that to say that has become such a valuable tool for me. However, isn't it interesting that none of the products that are still on the shelves that are being sold to us, that when we scan them, they fall into the either bad or poor categories on the Yuka app? How many of you have gone into the store and you pick up something and you scan it and it falls into that bad where it scores 0 out of 100, excuse me, or 2 out of 100, or it scores poor? Give me just a second. Pardon me, I have this tickle in my throat all of a sudden. But yeah, I was asking about when you scan, how many of you have come across these ingredients that score either bad or poor due to the toxic ingredients that are in these products? We have Nicolas Cage here. Oh my. What about fruits and vegetables? What about those, sis? Or Nicolas Cage? Nicolas Cage, what about fruits or vegetables? What about them? Be more specific in your question. Yeah, so we scan them and they fall into that poor or bad category based on when you look at the explanation as to why they've fallen into that category. It's because there are toxic ingredients that are harmful in so many ways, from causing cancer, liver and kidney damage, endocrine disruptors, toxic to your blood and lungs, and cause allergic reactions. Nicolas Cage, yes, those will show up on the FDA's website as well, such as we've seen a lot of recalls on lettuce, on, like we said, the spinach. So yes, if there is a recall on fruits and vegetables, those will show up on the FDA website. They will also show up on this app that we just talked about, the USA Recalls app. So yes, if there is a recall on any fruits or vegetables, those will also show up. Sister Carla says, just downloaded. I missed that show and will have to watch. Which app did you download, sis? Was it the Yuka app or the USA Recalls app, or both? Please download both of them. But yeah, when I scan with that Yuka app, my question is, why are these products still on the shelves? If they are harmful, if they are causing cancer, if they are causing liver and kidney damage, if they are endocrine disruptors, if they're toxic to your blood and lungs, and not such a big deal to me about the allergic reaction. If the ingredients are on there, such as some people know that they're allergic to nuts or whatever it may be, if it is posted on there, then yes, someone can look and say, okay, I have an allergy to that, so I'm not going to buy that. But how many people know when they're buying a product that it causes cancer, that it can damage their liver or kidney, or disrupt their endocrine system, or cause them to have blood dyscrasias or blood problems, lung problems, right? So why are these things still on the shelves, especially when they score a 0 out of 100 in the safety? That's my question. So I find that rather interesting that we get these recalls about listeria, we get these recalls about salmonella, and we're told to return these products, but yet these other products that cause cancer and so on and so forth, they're allowed to still be on the shelves. Don't they send product recall items to the dollar stores? They should not be allowed to do that. No. I'll do some research on that. That's a great point. But if something is recalled, no, they should not be resold. So I don't know. Did you get that information from any place in particular, any reputable sites or anything like that? Because when there's a recall, it should not matter where you purchase the product from. It's supposed to be recalled, so it is off the shelf completely. No one can really justify, oh, I'm just going to sell it for $1. Hearsay. Okay, I'm going to sell it for $1.25. But it can still kill you. But at least you're buying it cheap. No, that's not allowed. No. No, because the manufacturer will still be responsible for whatever the outcome is, whether it's a sickness, a death, or what have you, and it doesn't matter where it's sold, you should not be able to purchase something that has been recalled. Recently on a new YouTube channel, it was shared that some of our veggies and foods have been exposed to forever chemicals. Yes, and sludge. It's in the waste. Yes. And since we talked about that last week, the forever chemicals that's in the water, that's in our tap water. So you may want to go back and watch that video, because those are, yes. So it's not uncommon for our fruit, veggies and foods to be exposed to that. Yes. What about donations? Where does where does the stuff go? Okay, you're talking about donations. What about donations? What about donations? If you know that a product has been recalled, no, you should not donate it. You should return it to the store that you bought it from, or throw it away. But it should never, if it's recalled, it should never end up in the hands of another consumer, whether they are on the streets, begging for food. You know, we should, if a product is recalled, a food is recalled, do not give it to a homeless person. Do not take it to a homeless shelter or someplace where someone can now be affected by a recalled product. Product recall items, you're supposed to return, either throw them away, and with the recalls, they'll usually direct you what to do with it. They'll either tell you to discard it, or they'll tell you to return it for a refund, or just turn it back in. Take it back to the store where you bought it from, and they will dispose of it. So that being said, here I'm going to drop some other links that I think you should check out. The first link is by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. Let me get that here for you. U.S. Food and Drug Administration. And it talks about recalls, market withdrawals, and safety alerts. This is by the FDA. And wash them with pure, spring water, purified water. Correct. So that link is by the FDA. And let's see what it says here. It's about safety recalls. It says the list below provides information gathered from press releases and other public notices about certain recalls of FDA-regulated products. Not all recalls have press releases or are posted on this page. So there's some more information right there. And yeah. A lot of information, sisters. Let's see the next one. The next link is the Food and Safety Inspection Services, U.S. Department of Agriculture. Is it? Give me just a second again. Here's another one that I need to. Recalls and public health alerts. I'm flooding you all with some stuff tonight, but this is such important information. Excuse me. And here's one last one. I think I've already given you all this one, the Texas Health and Human. Yes. That one I've already posted. Awesome. So there's some new links for you all, sisters. There's some new links. So we've covered a lot of ground today. We've covered a lot of ground. The why behind the recalls, recent examples in food and skincare, how recalls unfold, what you can do, and systemic challenges. So let's see what y'all are posting some stuff here. Let's see what y'all are saying. Rinsing our fruits and veggies with baking soda and water for soaking them, or soaking them in vinegar and water. Yes, before we eat them does help with removing certain chemicals, etc. Yes. And I don't know if you all have heard about this this coating that is being put on a lot of the fruits and vegetables now by some company by Bill Gates called Appeal. How many of you have heard of Appeal, where it's this coating that is put on the fruits and vegetables to make it look shiny, and it's some kind of a waxy thing that is on there? Please make sure that you are not buying any of the fruits and vegetables out there with this crap called Appeal on it. Please. And if at all possible, stick with organic. Stick with organic. All praises to the Most High, Sister Carla. All praises to the Most High. Sometimes you just have to close your eyes and hope for the best. No, wisdom. We have to use wisdom. And instead of hope, pray. Right? Instead of just hoping, hope and pray for the best. But, we still have to do our due diligence in so many ways. We have to. Like I said, as much as possible, eat organic. So to wrap up, recalls aren't always a sign of failure. They may reflect that the safety systems are working, but they also remind us of how fragile the chain from production to consumption really is. As consumers, staying alert, informed, and proactive helps to protect ourselves and our communities. So being proactive is so super important. Sister Ada says, I have. Nicholas says, wicked. Yeah, there's a lot of wickedness out there. Yeah, we're talking about the appeal, huh? Sister Simone, yes, says, I mentioned the coating that's being used on fruits a few comments ago. Oh, I didn't see that. It can also be found on some organic products. It's definitely bad for us. So we're inundated with chemicals. Yeah, it's only the Most High can bring us through this. Only the Most High can bring us through this. That's why we have to stay connected with Him, because only He can give us, through the Rawach, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to navigate our way through this evil world that we live in. Nicholas Cage says, this subject is very important and interesting. Thawada, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I thought it would be, because these recalls kept popping up in my emails. And I said, you know what? I keep getting these recalls. It really is time for me to do a show on this on this topic. Sister Johnny, I have another commitment, sis. I'll log off and catch the recording. All praises, sis. We've come to the end. We've actually come to the end. So I'm just going to give a few tips about wrapping, about what to do. We're just going to wrap up. And this is basically a call to action, right? So number one, visit your kitchen, bathroom, and your medicine cabinet. Check if you own any products recently recalled. And what's the easiest way to do it? Downloading that USA recall map and scanning the stuff that's in your kitchen cabinet. And I did that with the Yucca app. So now it's time for me to do that now with the USA recall app. Sign up for a recall alert through the FDA, the USDA, or your country's equivalent. And like I said, USA recall app. That's a great way. Share this episode with friends, family members, especially those caring for vulnerable populations such as children, elderly, and the immune compromised. If you are, like myself, in product development, cosmetics, food journalism, or regulation, consider how your role can support better traceability, disclosure, or safety culture. And if you have questions or want us to dive deeper into this topic, such as on a specific recall, regulatory rules, or how technology is transforming recall response, let me know. I'd be happy to build on a follow-up episode. And yeah, we can do that. If there's more information that you want to dig deeper into anything about this topic, just let me know and let's jump in. Sister Carla says, Khan, all praises to the Most High. We all, let me scroll back up there. We all must stay prayed up and not get desensitized. Yes. Satan is doing his best to keep us distracted. Yes. Some very good information, sis. We appreciate you. All praises to the Most High, sis. The water. All praises to the Most High. Okay, so we have come to the end of tonight's broadcast. Next week's show, to be determined. To be determined. I still have not decided on next week's show, but I promise you it's going to be something informative, something important, right? We're just going to keep delving into these really, really timely topics, because we need to be able to stay healthy in a world that is doing its very best to make us sick. We have to stay vigilant. We have to be diligent in our quest for longevity and health. And it's so important that we keep each other accountable, and We share all of the information that we can on how we can stay, just stay safe, stay healthy, right? And this is how we do it. We come together, we learn together. If you have some information that you really think needs to be put out there, you may not have the platform, but you can reach me and let me know so that we can now get this information out to our body. So it says, it's always good. We never worry about the content. You deliver all praises. All praises to the Most High. It's him. It's him sending the Rawach to put this information out. I can't even take credit for it, but all praises to the Most High. So if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe to Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty so you never miss our weekly journey into women's health, wellness, and beauty. If you'd like a deeper dive into the most recent recalls, download the Shebrew Royalty Food and Skincare Products Guide at shebrewroyalty.com/wellness-blog, where I share a lot of this information. I'm going to put the links in there. This particular wellness blog will not be ready until next Tuesday, but a lot of this information that we went over tonight will be in there with the links. All right, just in case you just want to send someone to that to the blog so that they can get the information as well. And of course, share this video with others so that they can now watch this video as well. Sister Simone says, this was another great message, sis. We truly need to stay informed and pray over everything we eat. Yes, everything or use, so the Most High can remove the negative things. Yes. Have a blessed evening and week ahead. All praises to the Most High. The water, sis. The water. So also, this channel is not monetized, but if you find the information that is presented on this channel to be useful and valuable to you, please feel free to give a donation to the cause. Nothing is too small or too large. Shebrew Royalty LLC and Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty are labors of love and appreciation. What I present on this channel and create and offer on ShebrewRoyalty.com comes from a place of love, care, and appreciation for each and every one of you and myself. We appreciate any gift that the Most High puts on your heart to donate. Donations may be sent to $Shebrew Royalty. Please be sure to specify donation as the purpose for the transaction. Thank you, the WADA, in advance for your generosity. So, in conclusion, sisters, let's continue to grow this channel so that the information can reach Shebrews throughout the four corners of the earth, and even those that are not Shebrews but are willing to be a part of our community. We are to let our light shine so that others can be led to the source of the light, because we are not the source. We know that. Our Lord, our Savior, our King, YASHAYA, is the source of that light. So all we do is, walk the way that we're supposed to walk and lead others to him in the things that we do. Even something as simple as sharing this broadcast with someone. So I love you and always appreciate you taking time out of your very, very busy schedules. I know you all have so much going on. Oh my goodness, there's so much going on in this world. And I know you all are so busy. So I truly appreciate you taking time out of that busy schedule to have tea and conversation with me. The water. Thank you for your support. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. And know that I'm praying for you. I'm praying for us. And until the Most High brings us back together, May you prosper and be in excellent health. And remember, true healing begins inwardly before it is expressed outwardly. I'm your hostess, YASHAYAH, a voice of reasoning and justice. Until next time, stay well, stay radiant, stay royal, and as always, this is Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty. Good night. Shalom, sisters. Have a blessed week. I love you all. AHAYAH. Have a restful night and a blessed and prosperous week. Shalom. Ayandabar, Sister Ada. Ayandabar. All praises to the Most High.